Hi all, welcome back to GAMT. This is Dr. Karthik and this is part 5 of the 6-part video series on how to create a GAMT. This video picks up right after where the previous one left off as before. So if you haven't watched part 4, I would encourage you to watch that before proceeding further. So let's crack on.
Now going on to the last step, which is the file it steps. The step 3, which is just simple, just file it. This is very important. Okay, step 1 and step 3 is as important as step 2, as I mentioned before. Step 1 is selecting multiple templates before you start to create a GAMT. Step 3 is filing it. Why is filing very important? For obvious reasons, of course, but it's more important for GAMT, right? So say for example, you created a wonderful GAMT like this for threads of memory. Now, if you use a pen and paper and pencil, so you can, or you write in a notebook, you probably will have a notebook for, let's say, memory, and then you're going to put this GAMT in that notebook. That's fine. But if you're writing in a free sheet of paper, you just need to make sure you file it in the proper way. So there's no point in having 100 different GAMTs, all in different topics. And when you want to refer something, you just have to go back to every single sheet of paper that you have. It just doesn't work. See, if you're using if you're using paper, make sure you file it in appropriate sections. If you're using a notebook, make sure you have separate notebooks, separate areas for different topics so they don't get mixed with each other. Or if you're using a digital image, it makes it much more easier. So what I would suggest is, for generating or creating a GAMT, you can use whatever you want. You can use a tablet or a pencil and paper, whatever suits you, right? That's fine. But once you created a GAMT, the best way to file it is digitalize it first. What do I mean by digitalizing? Take a picture of the GAMT. So if you use pen and paper, take a picture on a phone, or if it's a tablet, take a screenshot. So that's the first step you need to do. Once you take a picture, put it in a file management system. Okay. Now, there are a lot of different file management systems out there. So I can only tell what I've been using for the last 24 years, and that is OneNote, and it's actually fantastic. I'll show you what I use on a day-to-day basis, so you get an idea. Because I do my GAMTs on the tablet, it's much easier for me to store the images in the tablet in the OneNote. So, for example, this is an example of a CNS module. So is the GAMT course that I'm preparing. So this is for final FRCA candidates. And you can see here. So what I've done is I've taken the CNS. There are a lot of modules. So you can use sections, you can use pages, you can use subpages. You see, this is the GAMT CSF is the page, and then the figures, the ACC, etc. are the subpages here. You have the GAMT BBB, which is blood-brain barrier, and then you have all the subpages under the blood-brain barrier, and then you have GAMT CSF, etc. Right? So what I've done, when you go to the GAMT CSF, okay, you can see this is the GAMT for the GAMT CSF. This is a chair with a bit of cushion in it, and there's a bit of flower growing up here. So that's GAMT that has all the information that I need to remember about the CSF physiology, production, composition, etc., and the functions. So, and then I have all the other stuff underneath that. Then we go to blood-brain barrier. So you have a rocket launcher, a rocket going here, and this is a fuel tank bringing fuel to the rocket. This is a GAMT for cerebral blood flow. So factors containing cerebral blood flow is a giant wheel, with a central thing showing how one of the components is going to look like, etc. So because I've filed everything here, anytime I want to go back and revise that, it just makes it very easy. So I've been using, as I told you, for more than 2 decades. I'll show you some of my GAMTs that I filed. Say, for example, you go to hematology, and you have all my GAMTs. You have multiple subsections. You have anemia. If you go to FRC anemia, so you have something. This is the GAMT that I use for anemia. This is for 2009. That's when I filed this one. So this is the GAMT I use for anemia. Even when I go back now, of course I don't remember this GAMT now because it's been a long time since I went back to it. But if I want to remember what I learned, all the information that I learned is all in one place, and I just need to spend like 5 minutes in this, and boom, I got all the knowledge back, right? And if it's for examination, obviously I'm going to revise it much more frequently, which means it's going to be much more easier for me to reproduce the details. So what else we have? So we have DIC. We have hemophilia. I mean, we have loads. These are all old GAMTs that I used way back in 2009, right? Same thing. Let's say go on obstetrics and gynecology, for example. So where is that? So pediatrics, obstetrics and gynecology. So let's say go to obstetrics. You go to HELP syndrome. So this is another image. Again, 2010. I filed in 2010, but I generated this probably as early as 2003, I can't remember. So this is an example of an ink filler, probably, which I use for amniotic fluid embolism. and then you can use help syndrome. And then what else we have? Physiological changes would be one other one. Yeah, this is Lord Ganesh, which are used for physiological changes in pregnancy. Like, there it goes. I use it so many times, in exams and in practice as well. So this is the image that's been sticking with me for a long time. Okay, so what this tells you is that anytime if I want to revise a particular topic, if I haven't filed this in this particular location, there's no way for me to find where this is going to be, right? Because I have it all in the OneNote. No, you can use Evernote. There's loads of other, there's loads of other systems that you can use. OneNote is free, I think, in everything. You can use it in phone, you can use it in tablet, and it synchronizes automatically. So you find it very handy. So it's very important to file it. That's the point I'm trying to make. And as you can see, if you file it in appropriate sections, it's so easy for you to go back to the GAMT. Say, for example, right, the other important point that you need to remember is to update the GAMT. When you're going to update, when you get new information, say, for example, right, you are in medical field, you have, so what should I say, it's called pharmacology. Just bear with me for a second. So we have hematology, okay. So you have the newer anticoagulants coming in all the time. So you have these blood thinning agents, and new agents are added every month almost. No, it's kind of slowed down, but there are a lot of agents. So if I want to add, if I read about a new agent, what I do, I go back to the hematology section. I know exactly what I know about warfarin already. I have a GAMT for warfarin, and then exactly what I remember from that. I just had to go there, look at all the things that I already read and all the GAMTs that I already created, and I just had to go back and say maybe add a new GAMT, or I'm just gonna, edit an existing one. And because it's all in one place, it's so easy for me to go back and look at it. The other important thing is, once you have GAMT, you have all the information anchored to one place. It forms a central anchor for all your future references, and it stays there forever. If you read about this 10 years later, you know exactly where to find it. And all the information. So if you look at this here, right, the bridging therapy, I looked at multiple sources. I got all the tables and comparison and contrast. I put everything in this particular page. I have a GAMT here. So, if you need to add more data on bridging therapy, I just come back to this and add on top of this. Boom, that's it. Everything that I need to know about this is in this particular GAMT. And I've updated over the number of 2 decades. So it's impossible if you don't have a system like GAMT to store this sort of data. Okay.
So this is the end of part 5 of the 6-part series on how to create a GAMT. So just one more to go. So well done guys for reaching this far. I will see you in the next one. Learn it, GAMT it.